What is up, friends? Brandon here, driven by purpose. We are back for another one. Tonight's cigar, Plasencia Almafuerte. Fantastic, amazing, incredibly smooth and tasty cigar. This brand is honestly one of my favorites. Sorry, that was kind of loud. It's been a fan favorite of mine since I was in the Dominican Republic a few years back. First time I had one, and it was phenomenal. So they do not disappoint. Always a good one. So lots of things happening, lots of things coming up. Show is this weekend. Still very much grateful and appreciative for all the love that we're getting for that. I will get better at posting some pictures of progress and things as we go. And honestly, there's some really cool things that are happening in the works right now, and I'm really excited to tell you about it, but you're gonna have to wait. So more to come. Tonight, I really wanted to touch on a topic, a little bit different spin on it. It's something we've touched on before, but this has been coming up just rampant in conversations that I've been having with clients and friends and family and coworkers, you name it. This conversation has been coming up, and it's about the voice. What voice do you hear the loudest? And not only what voice do you hear the loudest, but what voice are you actually listening to? And I just want to be very clear on this. We all have them. I'm not talking crazy, hearing voices, just all that nut stuff. But we have our minds, trying to tell us what's logical. This makes more sense, whatever, right? We have our heart that's, is our feelings. It's our emotions. And then we have our soul. I mean, deep down, like, this is God speaking to us, leading us, and showing us the path to go. The tricky part is that's probably not going to align with the head or the heart. It's not going to align with your family or friends. They're going to look at you and be like, you got to be kidding me. That is the stupidest decision you've ever made in your life. And again, it may not be logical, and it may go against even how you feel or against what you think is right. And that's the cool thing about God. He will take those things. He will take your broken relationships. He will take your shattered career, self-image, self-worth, whatever it might be. He will take those things from the lowest of low and transform them. He will do miracles. And those are the instances where he does his greatest work, when we are at our lowest and when it doesn't make sense. Because then when it works, I said when it works, there's no other explanation, because that didn't make sense. That's not even how I was feeling. My friends and family didn't think the same thing, but it still worked out. And it worked out in a way that was even beyond my wildest dreams, expectations, imagination. And for me, that's saying a lot, because my imagination, I can imagine God doing some pretty crazy things in my life and in the lives around me. So that verse is one of the things that I really stick to, because I'm like, yo, God, I can imagine some pretty off the wall things, some pretty wild things. And he takes it as a challenge. He takes it as a challenge. And I just wanted to talk about this for a second. Because there's lots of situations, lots of circumstances where this comes into play. Just like the gym, right? You may not feel like going to the gym. That may not be here, right? But it's the logical next step for your health, right? So you got to pick which voice you're listening to. If you're in a physically abusive relationship, it doesn't make logical sense to stay, right? But you still may have feelings for that person. And that's where you have to be in tune. All of yourself has to be in tune with what God is trying to tell you and where God is trying to lead you. And the part of this is, if it's just you and it's just God, which is enough, totally enough, and We all need people. We all need to be surrounded by people who trust in that too, who trust in God too, despite what the external is saying, who believe in God and they believe in you. People who believe the best no matter what, no matter how wild and crazy it might seem. They trust in God and they trust in you. Now, this doesn't mean, as a friend, we don't express our concerns or even call out in love, right? Not trying to control or manipulate or, ensure that they make the decision that we want them to make, but truly have that close relationship with our friends that we can call them out in love and like, hey, I think what you're about to do is stupid. And ultimately, I'm going to stand next to you no matter what happens. Because if it goes well, I want to be there to celebrate with you. And if it doesn't turn out how you thought, then I'm going to be there for you to cry on. I'm going to be there to support you, not to rub it in and say, I told you so. What kind of a friend is that? That makes no sense. Now, if your friends aren't that type of friend, then they don't deserve to be in your inner circle. And we've talked about it before, even family members, right? Who don't believe in the wild and crazy things that you want to do. They don't believe in the belief that you have that you were meant for more. And they're like, no, you're just 9 to 5, be stable. You don't need all that stuff, right? But they're constantly bringing you down. I'm not saying cut everybody out of your life. And there are people who need to not be in your life. And these low circumstances, these low situations that you might be facing, and you're struggling to understand which voice to hear, you're struggling to understand which one is God and which way He's trying to lead you. Those might be situations where He brings you low to kind of weed out some of those excess, some of those extra people who don't need to be there. Yeah, you might feel like they're, your best friend or your closest family members, or they have your best interest in mind, but really they just want their reality to come true in your life. They're not truly there supporting you. And that's a distinct difference that we all need to know, we all need to have. And so I challenge you today, one, have grace, have forgiveness, and persevere through your own difficulties, through your own challenges. Whatever you might be facing, you might have just gone through a massive failure. Work, family, money, whatever it might be. God is there with you. Have grace, know that He's there with you, but persevere. Don't be stuck in the feelings. Don't be stuck in your head. Move. Make a choice and move. Make a choice based on that deep down soul, like moving in your spirit. That's God. And He's leading you, and He's pushing you, and He's loving on you, and He's telling you, I got this. Let me do it. Even when it doesn't make sense. Because I'm going to turn this around for your good and my glory. Not my glory, His glory. Because that's when nobody can have a doubt that was God. Ain't no way Brandon did that on his own. That was God. And I just wanted to say thank you to a couple folks, Chuck and Austin. You guys are awesome. You guys are my inner circle, and I appreciate you and I love you. And if you guys don't have an inner circle, find an inner circle. But again, make sure they're the people that are going to be there for you no matter what. They're going to call you out in love, and they're going to support you and be there for you, pray for you. You know how you find those people? You start with you. You be that person. So be that person. Listen to God's voice deep down in your spirit, deep down in your soul. I love you guys so much, and we will talk next time. See ya.